oh my. Hey everyone, welcome back. Dan and Leslie here for another Disney dining review.
Today, it's kind of exciting because we had reservations to a pretty easy to get place. But yesterday we happened to pop on and look to see if there was anything available, and a Space 220 popped up. What?
This is a super hard reservation to get right now. I mean, even if you're booking 60 days in advance. So pro tip, if you are missing a really hard to get reservation, even if you book 2 months in advance, check the day before, because a lot of people will change their minds and you can get them like some harder to get reservations. I have not been super excited to try this restaurant. We have not been. So I'm gonna try to go in with an open mind, but I think it is more gimmicky than anything. The prices are pretty steep for this restaurant.
Yeah, so for lunch, which we are going for lunch, it is a $2.50 reservation, which still falls within the lunchtime hour. So for lunch, it's a prefix meal of a appetizer and an entree. So dessert doesn't come with this one. We talked about purchasing dessert separately, but if we are each getting an appetizer and each getting an entree, I don't think that's a good idea.
Because we're forced to, because it's a prefix meal. And then for dinner, it is still a prefix meal, but did you say this price?
Oh, no, I didn't. So it's for lunch prefix meal, it is $55 per adult. And then the child at lunch is $29, and they get an entree and a dessert, so not an appetizer.
And surprise, we are taking Jennings because he has been really excited to try this. I don't know.
We told him last night that we were going, and he was like, what?
So we're picking him up from school. We're gonna go over there as quickly as we can and hopefully make a reservation. For dinner, it is still a prefix meal, and it's $79 per person. It does come with a dessert, the prefix meal for dinner, but oh my, like
Not sure.
$79 per person for some screens that show space. I don't know. I can't get behind this.
Is dessert really worth another $24?
I don't know. Maybe the portions are bigger. Maybe I don't know. It's a lot of money. $55 per person for lunch is a lot of money.
It is.
I mean, this better be amazing, because I'm just like, I can't rate this high if it is nothing short of spectacular. Anyway, so this restaurant is right next to Mission Space in Epcot. It just opened last year, so it's still really, really new, really, really fresh. The whole gimmicky thing is like,
you go 220 miles up into space. So you actually get to see yourself, leaving Epcot, and then at the end of your journey, you see yourself returning to Epcot. Now, this menu does look pretty fantastic. So I'm looking forward to trying some of these things out. For instance, there's some things on the appetizer side, like Blue Moon cauliflower. There's like a, what's it called? Starry calamari. They sound really, really tasty. And then the entrees, there's like cheeseburger, there's salmon.
Steak frites.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of your staples.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's really well done. Anyway, let's go pick up Jennings and get the show on the road.
This guy.
We'll see.
Okay, so we just got our boarding pass for space. So we just got sat. I was kind of hoping that we would be by the window, but that's okay. She did recommend a few of the drinks. She said that the Atmos Spritz is the best on camera because it is a vodka-based drink and there's like a cotton candy like pour-over thing that happens. The Nebula is the best tasting, which is like Maker's Mark, pineapple, honey, passion fruit, and and bitters, which I think that's like right up Dan's alley. The Big Tane is the spiciest. It's got some Grand Marnier, some strawberry, and it's served with astronaut ice cream. So we'll see. So I got the Big Tane. It came with this little bitty space ice cream. The drink itself is like, it's okay. I mean, it's nothing like to write home about. It tastes a little watered down.
I got the Nebula, which has Maker's Mark and bitters, and we will see. It definitely tastes like pineapple. It's kind of like almost like a rum punch. I know it has whiskey in it, but it's okay.
For our appetizers, we got the cauliflower and the calamari, so I'm excited to try those. And then for the entrees, I think we're gonna go for the steak frites. She recommended both steak dishes, as well as the spaghetti and shrimp. So she said that's a newer item on the menu and that it's really good and kind of light. Okay, so we're in a different location because they hadn't seated anyone here, and I asked if we could move because over there was terrible.
It was awful. I mean, ambiance was gonna get a 1 real fast.
We're right by the window, and I actually said, like, I wanted to sit by the window when we came in, and she was like, oh, over here is better. It was not better.
Not better at all. We were between a table of kids that were like running amok because the parents were at a different table and weren't monitoring the kids, and then there were people above us that were looking down onto us, like talking to the camera. I've never used a fork this size.
It's so little.
Deep fried cauliflower.
I wasn't expecting that. And then calamari, so I'm very excited.
It is breaded deep fried cauliflower with a like a buffalo sauce and blue cheese crumbles.
Yep. There is a roasted red pepper aioli and then the like regular sauce.
That is a spicy marinara. It's actually pretty spicy. The calamari is well done. It's not overly chewy.
This is well done. This is it's different but very good. All right.
Okay, we got food.
Yeah. So I got the space spaghetti and shrimp, and then you got the steak and frites.
Got the steak frite. So
they taste like McDonald's fries.
Huh. Could have saved a lot of money by going to McDonald's. Steak comes with a green chimichurri sauce, which is very herby, flavorful. It's a fairly small steak. It's okay. How is it? What?
It's a little disappointing. It tastes like I just made spaghetti noodles and put some Parmesan cheese and butter on it at home.
It's not great. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can take any more disappointment in this place right now. So we're not gonna get a dessert. We're just gonna cut our losses, pay the really expensive bill, and review this at home.
Yeah, buckle in, this is gonna be a rough one.
I can't remember being more disappointed in a Disney dining experience. And
I'm trying to remember. I will say as we were walking out to the parking lot that I said, I'm pretty sure T-Rex is gonna be better than that. And if you know us, you know we don't like T-Rex.
before we get into this thing is overpriced by a lot.
A lot.
There were 2 of us. Jennings chose not to come. He had a friend that he was gonna play with online. And so for 2 of us we each got 1 drink, and then we each got the mandatory prefix lunch, which consisted of a small appetizer and a fairly small size entree. We got a 15% discount for being DVC members, and with tip and tax out the door, it was $165.
Well, we did tip very nice because spoilers, she was
the
very
best
good.
part of the meal. I can't disassociate the cost of this thing with our experience.
Yeah, and that's the really hard part because, you know, the value has to be there for the money that you spend, and whenever the value is not there, it really cuts into that rating system for sure.
If the 4 of us had gone, since we're all over 10 years old, and done the mandatory prefix meal for dinner at $79 a person, if we had each gotten the same 2 drinks, it would have been over $400 $400 for this meal. I'd be really mad right now. Before we get started, if you want help planning your next magical vacation, reach out to us at Fantastical Vacations. I will tell you, we will save you from spending $400.
So I'm going to start positive, and so we divided up ambiance and theming again.
Because we couldn't give the theming that bad of a score.
The theming is actually quite good. Like I'm going to rate it a 4.5. From when you enter, you get your little ticket into space, like your boarding pass, and then you go into the little circular room and you get to see
the stellavator is what they call it.
Yes, you get to see yourself going into space up on the screen up top and going away from Epcot down below. It was cool. The windows were cool. They occasionally had things floating across. My favorite was the little space dog. He was very cute.
Okay, so that gets a 4.5.
Yeah.
The ambiance got a 1 up until the point where we asked to be moved tables.
We passed many tables that were empty that were by the windows. And I said to her as we were walking, I said, "Oh, I was really hoping for one of these." And she said, "Oh, this is better over here."
It was not better over there. She set us against the wall. And so not only did we have the people above us next to the railing on the upper level looking down at us as we were talking to each other and filming, which was really uncomfortable. I mean, we're used to people looking at us for carrying this camera around, but looking over the rail at us was weird.
It would have been fine if it was just during the filming, but like I couldn't even talk to Dan without the lady looking over at us. And so I felt like everything that I was saying was being overheard, and it was really uncomfortable.
And then right next to us, there was 2 tables. One of them was a 6 or 8 top, I don't even remember, of just children, like 3 to 8-year-olds that weren't being monitored by the table of adults that was next to it, which was a table of 8 or 10.
8 or 10, yeah.
And they were ignoring their kids. So the kids were running around. I couldn't let go of the camera. Like I couldn't just set the camera down on a tripod because they would have knocked it over.
The one little girl kept coming over to our table every time the waitress was there. And it was just very interesting.
$165 for this experience.
I asked if we could be moved over to one of the tables by the windows because they still hadn't filled them. And
there were 2 empty ones right there.
That did elevate the experience. So it brought that ambiance from a 1 to a 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely like, at least we weren't like sardined in with a million people we didn't know listening to us and running around. It was, yeah.
Service, the waitress that set us was lovely. She was wonderful. She kept coming around, checking, bringing us waters, all that stuff.
Very attentive.
Very attentive.
She was wonderful.
And she got a 4. The lady that set us gets a 1. That's part of service, right? I mean, if you're going to sit us between, like in this horrible location, even when we say something about it, that's a 1.
And then try to sell it that's better than where over across yonder? No.
That was ridiculous. Combined, it gets a 2.5. And there's no other way to slice that. It just is what it is. Like 2.5.
Yeah. So overpriced drinks. So your drink was $16 and my drink was $17. And
we actually didn't try each other's on this one, so I'm not sure how yours was, but mine was like pineapple juice.
Mine tasted like watered down strawberries. Maybe?
It was a small glass that was filled to the brim with ice, and it just tasted like pineapple juice. I
don't think there was alcohol in it.
I didn't taste it. I didn't feel anything. For $33 for 2 drinks, 1. It gets a 1.
Yeah.
Don't get the drinks there, period.
Yeah, no, don't get it. Okay, last but not least.
Food.
Well, I don't know. I think it is least.
Before we get to food, like this is the new low. Like this is the new bar. I felt like we were in all these dining reviews, and it may have been because we were making reservations that we were excited about.
Yeah.
I was excited about this. I thought it was gimmicky, but I had heard good things about the food. I at least thought the food would be good.
I was very hopeful that the food would be good. Now let's start with appetizers. So the appetizers weren't terrible. The calamari was cooked well. It was fine. The spicy marinara sauce was nothing to write home about.
It was like ragu with red pepper flakes.
Yeah, but the red pepper aioli, that was really good.
It was actually pretty tasty.
Yeah, fried cauliflower bite thingies, they were okay. So then our food came, and I got one of the newer things on the menu. There was space spaghetti and shrimp. And so it had some kind of, she described it as that it was light and it sounded really good. Like it was going to have kind of almost like a white creamy sauce.
It was just like melted butter on there.
That's exactly what it was. There was zero flavor. Like it tasted like buttered noodles.
Oh, so we actually brought half of it to Jennings. What do you think about the buttered noodles? Was it good?
Yeah, just buttered noodles.
Okay.
There's also shrimp.
I got the steak frites. So she highly
With his
recommended
McDonald's fries.
She highly recommended the steak. So there's stick on two things. You get a stick on a salad, which apparently has some sort of horseradish dressing that she said was really good, and then the other big popular steak thing is the steak frites.
Kind of wish we would have gotten that.
I know. So yeah, the fries. So they tried to make up for the tiny portion of steak with a giant portion of fries, and they weren't that good.
They were legit. Like I feel like maybe real McDonald's fries.
I think they went out and got them.
I don't know.
I really do think that they came in a frozen bag that they just fried. I mean, and poured some salt on because they weren't good. The steak also came on some broccoli, which was really the best thing on the plate, along with the chimichurri sauce. So I think in the video at the restaurant, I said that the steak was cooked to order, which I ordered medium rare because I saw some pink. The rest of it, the overcooked part, was covered in chimichurri sauce. I didn't find that out until I started eating the thing. Yeah, because it was cut into 3 pieces, so you could kind of see, and there was one little section of pink, but
they were like, "Oh, here's the medium rare part. Show that."
I guess. I mean, they just covered up their overdoneness with chimichurri sauce, which the chimichurri sauce was actually...
What else can you do but laugh?
It was... So anyway, food gets a 1. It was not good, and you have to take into consideration the cost. Maybe if this thing was $15 for this steak, I would have given it a 3. Maybe. It wasn't above average at all at any cost, but the cost of $55 is just insane for what we got. All of that to say... Judge for yourself, by all means, if you can get... I don't know why this is so popular. I guess just because it's new. Hopefully, like, word gets out and, like, it doesn't...
I think it's because of the experience. I think that is the sole reason.
The only reason that it was anywhere close to redeeming. So if you add all that up, it's a 2.2 out of 5.
Ouch.
A 2.2 for a $165 meal for two people that would have cost us over $400 for 4 at dinner. Now, maybe it was a fluke, I don't know, but it was not worth it, in our opinion.
Yeah.
There it is.
If this is your first time watching us, we are usually much more positive about our food experiences. This is a one-off for us. Like, it was definitely disappointing, and I was very hopeful that the food would redeem some of the other kind of not great things, but
did not.
But it didn't.
It did not. So
if you are liking these dining review series, please give us a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next one that will hopefully be much better.
As always, we'll be back next Thursday with another Disney dining review, and we will see you on the next video.